Before this video starts, I just want to say thank you to all you guys who watched my other video and were really supportive, and you guys were just so kind, and it really made me realize that maybe I'm not so alone, even if I feel like that. You guys were also so kind and so supportive to me in the comments of the last video. So thank you. I really appreciate that, and it really means a lot to me. I made this channel just to kind of rant about my feelings, and that's all that this was, and it's probably all that it's going to be. So thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. But back, let's get to the topic of this video. It's, it's, I don't know, it's hard for me to talk about because I just feel like a broken record, because I've already kind of talked about it in the last two videos, last two episodes, if you will. It's just like of my feeling of wanting to change, and I feel so stuck with with who I am, and I wish that was different. I wish I was different. I wish I was a different person. I wish there were so many things in my life that I wish I could change, and I'm scared that I won't be able to. And I'm scared that the person I am now is the person I will be forever, which it's not inherently bad, but it's not who I want to be, I hate who I am, and I hate what I stand for. I don't stand for anything bad, it's just I don't stand for anything. And that's the problem. I feel like I don't have a reason to be, I feel like I'm just here for the sake of being here, and I don't want that, I want to be someone. I want to be someone important to somebody, and I'm scared. I'm scared because I can't change no matter how hard I try. I'm sorry. I know I know I can change, and I know I should change, because there's so many things in my life that I want, that I need to change for, but I can't. I'm stuck being this shitty, depressed, sad piece of shit, and I try to be better, and I play it off, and I act like I'm not sad, and I'm not hating who I am every day, but I the truth is I am, and there's nothing I could do about it, but that's the thing, I know there's something, there has to be something that I can do to change, but I'm not, I can't, I'm just stuck. I'm just stuck as this person who can't get over themselves, who can't change, who can't, grow up in a sense, and that's all I want, is to grow up and to be better for myself. That's all I want. But I can't change the way that I want to change. And it sucks, because I don't want to be me for like the rest of my life, because I don't like who I am. I don't like who I am, and I want to change so bad. I want to be someone different. I want to be someone who isn't so scared of life, who isn't so scared of commitment, someone who isn't so scared to change. But I don't know. I know I sound like a broken record, and I'm sorry, but it's just the way that I feel, and I don't know. I struggle so hard with opening up. It's a big struggle of mine, and I know it is, but I don't know. I'm so scared, and I don't know why. Growing up, I was always under the impression that guys like me, or guys in general, they don't talk about their feelings. We sit there and we act like men, and we act like how we should be, and I that's the problem. I don't know what I should be, and I don't know how I should act, and it's scary, because you look around and you see everyone has their lives figured out, everyone's doing what they want to do, but I don't know what I want, because I don't. This will be a topic of another video, most likely. I honestly don't know. but I don't want to sit behind a desk and work a 9 to 5. And I've already tried trades. I've worked demolition, and I was doing good. I was a foreman. I was making good money. I was an operator. I was doing fine. I was going out of town a lot. But man, those hours killed me, man. 13, 14, 10, 12-hour shifts, overnight shifts, fluctuating between shifts. It was so bad that my health was deteriorating, and I was taking trips to the hospital like every week because I was in a sense actually just dying. My lungs were giving out. My mental health was giving up, and I couldn't stay longer, and it wasn't for what I was getting paid and the work I was doing. I couldn't keep it up, and that sounds so selfish because I don't know, I've always been told you just have to man it up, act tough, get through it. Life isn't pretty, and I get that, I do, and I don't get me wrong, I will forever be grateful for that job I had, but I don't want to live like that, I don't want to live stuck in a way where I have to actively die to support myself. I can't do it, and that's not who I am. And I don't think I'll ever be that, because that's not what I want in life, And I sound so selfish saying that, because that, truth be told, that is very selfish. I had a good job. I had good coworkers for the most part, and I had a stable job, and I was making money. But then I'm just so selfish, and I didn't want to do it anymore. I don't know. I think I can't change. And I don't know if that's for the better or for the worse, but I can't be the person that other people want me to be, That's not who I am, and that's not who I stand for, and that's not what I want, And I don't know if that's a blessing or if that's a curse. If me being stuck in my dumb little brain is a bad thing, but to me, I think it is, Because everyone always tells you have to be this person, and I know I've already said that, but I can't be the person that they want me to be, I can't be that person that they want. That's just not who I am, and if that gets me homeless on the side of the street, then that's my life, I don't know. I struggle so hard with self-identity. I really do. And I really, really just want to be better, and I want to be different. But I know I can't be. And I know that that's just who I am. And it sucks, because I don't want to be that person anymore. I want to be someone different, I want to be someone, someone special, or I don't know. I don't know. And that's the issue, and I know I keep saying it over and over and over, but I really don't know, and it scares me so much, because I want to matter to even just myself. I just want to matter, but I'm scared that I won't, and I'm scared that I'll live a life that I'll regret, and I don't know. I don't want to live that life. I don't want to live a life where I regret who I am and what I've done and what I stand for, and it scares me. But at the same time, I know if I don't change, my life's over. For the longest time, I wanted to be a movie director. I wanted to go to film school, and truth be told, I honestly still do. But in order to do that, I have to change. I have to be a different person, and I can't do that. I can't bring myself to change. I'm so stuck in my stupid, stubborn ways that it's gonna get me killed, and I'm gonna end up worthless, And I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. I don't know if anything I'm saying is making sense, but it's just, it's just how I feel, And at the end of the day, if how I feel gets me treated like an outcast and people don't understand the way I feel, then so be it, right? But I'm just so scared. I'm so scared. You know, and I don't know why I'm scared. Because I know it'll work. You know, I'm sure it'll work if I did change and if I did become that person that I think I should be. That things will, you know, turn out the way that I think they should. I don't know. I don't know, and I'm sorry I say that over and over, but I just I don't know. Also, I don't really know what's going on with this house. I'm kind of just going with the flow. You know, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't want to live in a system where I hate myself. But I think it's already too late. And I think that's more or less the future I've chosen for myself. And you know, I guess it's okay. That's okay for me, at least, you know. It is what it is, and there's nothing I can do to change that. I feel like it's too late for me to change. And it sucks, but you know, it is what it is. And I think I just have to come to terms with that. As much as I hate that, as much as I hate, you know, being stuck in a place where I feel like I can't change, I think that's just the reality of it. And it sucks. And it really sucks. Maybe one day I can change. You know, maybe one day I will be the person that I want to be. But I honestly don't see it. I really don't. And I'm sorry. I really am. I'm sorry to the people that expect so much from me. But it's just, I don't know. I don't think it's me. And it sucks. But I think that's just the way it is for me. And I think I have to accept that, and I have to come to terms with that. But I'm so scared to, you know? It's not what I want. But, you know, you don't always get what you want, you know? So I guess that's enough said, you know?